Everybody, it's Jeremy. Welcome back to Bozmos2, where we are playing Chaco. This is turn 55, I believe. Sorry. It's been a long day, so I've got so many things going on. Let's jump into this, shall we? Alright, we've got a number of different things. Pretty passive turn, honestly, but we've got a number of little things happening, so let's go ahead and go through them. We have Ray Major Mitchell's Cockatoo claimed the Throne of Creation. Midgard has claimed the Throne of Bureaucracy, and we have claimed the Throne of the Pantocrator. Let's check those out real quick. I will forget them if we... So, thrones. Bureaucracy is right here. Spreads Dominion 5. Dominion gets +1 order. That's pretty nice. You lose 100 gold per turn, but you also get a Dominion conflict bonus of +1, which is actually surprisingly strong. So Throne of Bureaucracy, pretty cool. What was the other one? Throne of Creation. Gotcha. Throne of Creation. Increases turmoil locally. Gives Dominion, spreads Dominion 3, which is pretty low. Gives Turmoil +3, which is rough. Gives increased casting level to ritual casting from the Throne of Creation site. And gives a conjuration bonus 30 and a construction bonus 20. Reduces 100 resources. If you are a nation that doesn't mind the turmoil and can make good use of the most nations can make good use of the conjuration of the construction bonus. This can be really good. If Turmoil 3 fucks you though, this is real bad. I don't know if the ritual casting is that big of a deal. If the +1 level of it is that big of a deal, I'm not sure. I'm assuming you get a little bit of extra stuff, like if you're doing conjuration, right? Like you get an additional summoner or two, right? Because I'm assuming it's basing it off of like the level of the caster is +1 kind of concept, but I'm not sure. I don't know if this is really a big thing or not. But anyways, it's interesting. And then we got the Throne of the Pantocrator, which I'm not sure if we talked about this a whole lot last video. I'm doing this video after the fact, so I don't really remember what happened on the last video very much. But we get spread Dominion 7, which is, I think, the highest that you can get from a throne. It's very high. It's very good. We get a Dominion conflict bonus of +2, which is also very good. Makes it very good to push against other against opponents. This will come. This probably isn't going to come in handy because we're pretty far behind in this game. So if we were to be ahead, this would be super useful. But it's probably not going to be that big of a deal for us now. If we somehow manage to squirrel our way into the end game, okay, could be super useful. And we get a Call God bonus of +2 to our priest levels, which means we basically call our god back really fast. We already really kind of do that, but now we can do that without utilizing, I don't know, like our Monketsinas or our Wuyas. We can just use our, I don't know, the handful of sun priests we have, I guess. So pretty neat. We've got a whole bunch of site searching. Augury, nothing. Auspex, nothing. Harspex, nothing. Arcane probing. Hey, we get a painted cave. So painted cave. Oops, the wrong thing. Painted cave is just a +1 astral pearl, but that brings us up to 18. We have a very high astral income, so we're gonna be looking to try to make good use of that. Augury, nothing. Gnome lore, nothing. Harspex, nothing. Voice of Apsu, nothing. Dark knowledge, nothing. Voice of Apsu, nothing. Voice of Apsu, nothing. So kind of unfortunate. We're getting pretty close to being done with the majority of site searching. We still got a couple of like auspexes in places, a couple of I guess we've got a fair amount of dark knowledge to still do, right? Well, not even a fair amount, just a couple of places untouched, right? a little bit of Voice of Apsu, basically a little bit of everything left, right? And then blood. We have no blood, so I'm not even worried about that. So that's we're getting close to being done with site searching. I think we probably got like another 2 turns of a fairly large amount of site searching, and then after that it's just going to be a couple of aspects or gnome lores or things like that. We have been very fortunate on some income, very high on astral, very high on water, comparatively pretty decent on earth, comparatively not great on air, but okay on air, right? Fire is just really bad. I can never seem to find a game where I get a lot of fire income. I just don't. I wonder, there was a chart floating around, someone, I can't remember who it was, but someone did a lot of like research work on the averages for sites showing up and what your best bets for search types are and where and what provinces and etc, etc. And if I'm remembering correctly, I think there's just on average less fire in the game. So that's kind of rough. I just never seem to find myself in a situation where I have a lot of fire, even on like some fire nations, which is strange. Anyways, moving right along, we've got a new proclamations from New Relay, new prophet, constantly new prophets. We got some battles. Battle here in Garifa, where we're just basically counter raiding, and there's nothing here. We're just gonna. We do get to witness a battle. We'll do Trebon real quick. So we just raided Trebon back with a Monkatsina. No big deal. Just some werewolves. This should not be any sort of competition. Iron skin, temper armor, personal regeneration. Up to 20% regeneration, 29 protection. Pretty good. If they even get a hit, right? This type of situation, we have a great chance to do basically our repel scenario. So repelling with the enchanted spear, and then between the vine shield, etc. It's just they never have a chance to really touch me. Very good. Easy peasy there. And then we get to witness a battle in Numecria. And this is kind of like one of the last hurrahs of Marverni. So we've got a stupidly large chariot army from Nucitis. Apparently, I need to take a look at I think this is LA Citis. Is this LA Citis or is this because I think it's old in the DE. I think old is EA, just Citis is MA, and new Citis is LA. I think that's the way the monikers work, but I might have them flipped back. Either way, I need to take a look at this nation because I think you can just like summon these fuckers. And they've got horrible hit points, right? Not great stats, and horrible attack density, but they're fucking tramplers, and they have multiple attacks, and I think you can just summon a shit ton of them and then run over people. Anyways, Gaia's Spirit. I don't even know what this is. Permanently heal wounds with an incredible speed. Must wear an acorn necklace to mark them. Gotcha. So this guy's wearing an acorn necklace. Understood. Sweet. Okay, so that's the majority of what's going on over here. There are a couple of other little things like some poison slingers and a couple of sauromancers back here for, you know, horde of skeleton spam and stuff like that. But mostly this army just runs over you. And Marverni's army, in theory, would also run over you with great boars, right? Only thing is the Great Boars are the same size as the Tomb Chariots. The Tomb Chariots have better stats and better attacks. So the Tomb Chariots are probably gonna do a number. The only thing the Great Boars really have is HP over the Tomb Chariots. So there is the God, Bob Barking Mad Barker. So he could potentially be tough, but the real question is and we've seen this before. We've seen Marverni just light up the undead with a shit ton of Sequani Stargazers. Is this going to be enough to do that this time? Let's see. All right. The first wave of boars have met. Ooh, unfortunate kind of scenario. So it looks like almost all of the boars headed over here. And now Foul Vapors has been put up. Foul Vapors get put up by... Oh, it got put up by this side. Yeah, absolutely. There is a Jade Sorceress. Probably not that Jade Sorceress. Is there a different Jade Sorceress? That's the only Jade Sorceress I see. Imagine that Jade Sorceress. Kamel? No, that is not the right Jade Sorceress. Hair Shibi. Oh, there's another... There are more Jade Sorceresses right next to... Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. So it has the Nature Random and then has a Thistle Mace. So has a Foul Vapors caster. Very good. Foul Vapors comes up. And I think... Oh, no. Marverni did prep for this. So he has poison resistance on all his Sequani Stargazers. But... I don't know that it's gonna matter. We'll see. There's some Will-o'-the-Wisps in with the Stargazers. Oh, it just looks like there's too many. Although, they're starting the Solar Rays. They're starting the spam. Bob Barking Mad Barker doing over here? Oh, he's casting a whole bunch of Poison Wards. Ah, it looks like this is the end. The Stargazers were doing it, but too many of them have routed now, I think. If they had stood and fired, right, to the last, then they might have actually been able to delete enough of these Tomb Chariots, because every blast, every banishment, or every solar ray killed their targets, but they just broke at the end. Too much. Very nice finish, though. Yeah, I mean, they still killed 114. There's just, you know, double the number that they killed available, so they just needed more. They just needed more of a front line, honestly. Like, if the Great Boars had, like, regeneration on them, right, they probably could have held. Or if, you know, if they had something else that was not the Great Boars, that was more, you know, like, higher protection or something like that. Or, I don't know if they... That's actually a pretty good question. I don't know if they've put up something like mass protection or anything like that. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So if they've been able to get something like mass protection going, then that might have helped, right? I mean, mass protection is only a little bit on the boars, but you know, it might have actually pushed it. I think the biggest thing would have been like regeneration. But yeah. I don't think that is the last province that Marverni has, but I think that's the last large force that Marverni has. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's been pretty much it for Marverni for a while now, but that's definitely pretty much it. All right, anyways, moving on. We have a worldwide event from New Relay. This is the Magic +3. I think we've seen this a couple times already. If not, we will see it a couple times. This is a really big thing. It's really annoying because it gets people horror marked and those people can get killed later on, which is shit, right? But it's also really nice for us right now because it is supercharging our research. +3 magic, and this is starting to take effect across the majority of our empire, is negating our horrible magic skills. And in certain places like Pestena, it's actually giving us 3 magic, and we're being able to research like crazy from it. I say like crazy, but like crazy compared to what we were researching, right? Our research is still garbage compared to a lot of other nations, but, you know, it's an improvement. It's a huge improvement. Unexpected events. Got some death and minus population as the plague continues in Assad. We got a skull mentor in good old woods. We got some unrest in Anglavania from raids. Unfortunate. We discovered a scout from Niflheim in Pestena. And then we had a bunch of star priests die from disease. And this is the disease that happened from, I think, the silver sarcophagus, like, several turns ago. These star priests finally died off. So that is all that happened there. We've got... Let's just talk about what's going on in the Empire. We are putting down a fortified village in Pack Woods on our new throne. We're going to do some site searching there as well. We are sending a Kushari in there. We're sending a Star Priest over there to put up a probably a temple and a lab. We're gonna get this fully fortified and be able to start recruiting people here, etc., etc. So that's easy peasy. We are moving a bunch of units, continuing to move units towards Pestena, towards this front, to try to fight against Kangobia, to try to take Old Man, and potentially to defend ourselves from Niflheim, depending on how things go there. I mean, I'm still not sure what the fuck is actually happening there, but we'll see. So we've got a bunch of units arriving in High Peaks. Biggest is this group of Katsina warriors, and this is the majority of our Katsina warriors, right? So we are very exposed on the rest of our borders, up in Atlantis, or the border with Dacia, or Ermor. If one of them decided, hey, now's the time to attack Chaco, we would probably fold, right? We would have to do a couple of fighting retreats, and depending on where they attacked us from, that would be very difficult for us to do. And we'd have to basically burn through the vast majority of our gems. We're not in a good place. But we also have diplomatic relationships with all of our neighbors, with anyone who could potentially attack us from over here. So as long as no one is ignoring naps, then we have warning. Now, I don't think that warning would actually save us in a war, but it might allow us to try to put together some defenses and see what we can do, right? At this point in the game, I've basically realized and decided, look, the build that I decided to go with, I'm having fun, but the build that I decided to go with does not work for what I'm trying to accomplish, or what I need to try to accomplish. I would definitely redo Chaco in a different way going forward. And now I'm just kind of in it to have some fun, right? We're attacking Kangobia. I don't really think that we win against Kangobia in the long run, but we're attacking Kangobia, gonna have some fun with it, going from there. So. Other than that, we continue to move people into Pastina. And that's pretty much it for the turn. This is kind of just a wait turn. So yeah, not much going on this one. Once this army arrives, the intention, right? What we're trying to do with all of these forces consolidating in Pastina is we are trying to get a big enough army here that I can split it, and I can leave part of the forces in Pastina, and then I can march the other half to Old Man, take Old Man, and then begin fighting northward into Kangobia's territory. And as we do that, right, we're also sending in more and more Wuyas, and the plan is to gear them out. So let's talk about what we're doing as far as rituals and forging goes. So ritual-wise, all we're really doing is more site searching. We got 2 auguries, an auspex, a gnome lore, 3 haruspexes, 3 voice of Apsus, and a dark knowledge. So we're doing ritual-wise. I should be doing other things right now, but I'm trying to be more conservative with my gems, and I have not decided what I'm actually going to do with my astral pearls yet. I am starting to think, though, right, we've got stuff like this silver one, right, has 3 astral already. So I'm thinking that we might send him back to Chaco here in another couple turns, and start doing like gear boost, right? We might take him and put some gear on him to make him a little more survivable, so we don't have to worry about him just crapping out and dying as much. But 2, we can empower him in astral, so he's astral 4, and we could put a crystal coin and a skull cap on him, Starshine skull cap. Then he's astral 6. Astral 6 can make a ring of sorcery, so he'll wear that. He's astral 7. Astral 7 can make rings of wizardry, which are just, altogether useful. But also, at that point we have an astral 7, and we're a hop, skip, and a jump. We could potentially try to head for things like wish or other potential like high-end astral stuff. That being said, right, like that's a lot of investment. So I don't know that that's the route that we go. We could also just try to go into the scenario of like, I don't know, making a bunch of golems and just like shoveling out crystal coins and starshine skull caps and maybe like some penetration gear and stuff like that, and you can just have teleport golems all over the place. So we'll see about that. That could be a useful option. I'm not sure yet though, but I'm trying to actively come up with ideas to utilize these astral pearls. We're also trying to come up with ways to utilize the copious amount of water gems that we have right now. And that is potentially going to be looking at something like Hidnets. So right now we are finishing up construction 6. And this is so that we can start putting lightless lanterns on people, but also construction 6 gives us more good gear for our Wuyas. So as soon as that's done, we're going to start, making gear for that. Enchantment 7. Specifically, we are going Enchantment 7 because we want Serpent's Blessing primarily. I don't think that we're going to be able to make a play for Gift of Health, very specifically. But we might be able to try to get something like Stellar Focus. I don't really know, though. Mass Flight is also an option for us, potentially. And that's pretty much it as far as the big stuff goes. But realistically, what we're trying to go for is Serpent's Blessing, so we can throw up Serpent's Blessing, and then Foul Vapors with Impunity. So we'll see how that goes. After that, we are intending on running up Alteration all the way up to Alt 7, The intention being to go up to stuff like Gaia's Warding, which gives us mass protection and regeneration at the same time. That also gives us things like Doom to be able to use in communions. It gives us things like Fog Warriors to be able to use in communions, etc. Got a lot of options. There's a couple of different things along the way that can be useful, but really that's what we're trying to go for. Probably try to do some vision trances, but I don't think this is very good. But this also does potentially, depending on how the next 10 turns, 15 turns go, this also sets us to be able to, with the research that we're doing, with the addition of lightless lanterns, which we're probably going to dump the vast majority of our fire gems into, if we can get our research actually taking off, then we're poised with alteration to just jump to like Alt 9 for things like Army of Gold or Army of Lead, obviously, or Wish, like we were talking earlier. So what other things are we doing? We're forging 2 Burning Pearls, 2 Boots of the Messenger, a Dragon Helmet, a Stonebird, 2 Frostbrands, 2 Copper Plates, and 1 Shield of Soft Earth. Most of this stuff is just random gear to throw together. Not random gear, it's specifically chosen, but it's gear to put onto Wuyas for the purposes of raiding or creating scenarios where we can try to foul vapors someone. So, again, I don't necessarily think that that's going to work out very well. I think we're way too late to the party on that, much like we were way too late to the party on the concept of like flaming arrows, right? We're just way too far behind on all of our research objectives, so I don't think that's going to matter, but getting to those locations always set us up for other things to do in the future. I don't really think so. Recruitment-wise, we're just recruiting normal stuff. Katsinas, Wuyas. We're doing some Hmong Katsinas around the fringes of our borders, right? Hmong Katsina here. Star Priest there. I think a Hmong Katsina there. We're doing a Sorceress up here, a Hmong Katsina up here, etc. Just to kind of give us some additional thugging options. Again, that concept of if Atlantis or Urmor or whoever comes at us, at least we could have some border options to try to like light thug or what have you. Urmor, I'm actually not terrified of Urmor. Urmor, I think we might actually have a decent shot against. I'm not sure about Phasia. Phasia, I don't understand or know enough about Phasia, I think, as a nation. But Atlantis, I think, would probably just screw us over right now if they attacked us. So we would probably fold pretty quick on Atlantis. They've just got... I think this nation as a whole has my number right now for the tricks that I have up my sleeve. Anyways, I think that is going to be it for this turn. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.